Yeah, just a quick review of Sore No More Warm Arthritis Pain Relief Cream. We'll just call it Sore No More. Anyway, so what's this for? I mean, why would you consider using this? Well, basically, it's for muscle and joint pain. So let's say, you know, you did a lot of bending over, you did a lot of gardening over the weekend, or maybe you lifted a lot of boxes helping a friend move, and you wake up on Monday morning, you're like, oh God, my back is killing me. You know, your muscles are in knots or in spasm. You know, that's a good reason you might want to try something like this. Or if you have something like more chronic conditions, let's say like knee arthritis, you know, you might want to consider trying something like this. But anyway, so what's in it? I mean, how does this stuff work? Well, anytime you're considering using something like this, you need to ask yourself one question. What are the active ingredients? So what exactly is an active ingredient? Well, it's any ingredient that has a direct biological effect or pharmacological activity in your body. In other words, these are the ingredients in this product that really make it work, that really do the heavy lifting. So in the case of Sore No More, it actually contains two active ingredients. One is camphor, and the other is menthol. So it contains, I think, 3% of each, camphor and 3% menthol. So how does that stuff work? Well, camphor actually is a topical analgesic, so it gets rid of pain topically on the surface. And then menthol actually gives you this cooling sensation that stimulates the nerve, and then that's help blocks the pain. So that's kind of how this stuff works. So the big question is this temporary or permanent relief? Well, I think there actually are some cases where you can get permanent relief by just using this once or twice. Like let's say, go back to the example of, you know, you're doing a lot of gardening, a lot of bending over, you know, or lifting a lot of boxes. Next day, muscles are sore. You know, if you have muscles that are in pain, a lot of times they can go into spasm, and then the spasm creates more pain, and the pain creates more spasm. So you have what's going on is this pain, spasm, pain cycle. But you can actually break that up with something like this. So you use it once, gets the pain down, so you interrupt the cycle totally. Once the cycle's interrupted, then it usually doesn't come back. Sometimes you have to do this once or twice, but basically that's, I think, cases where you're going to get permanent relief from something like this. Fortunately, there are a lot of conditions like knee arthritis, for instance. You know, sometimes back pain become chronic. You know, where you just use this, helps just while you're using it, but honestly, it doesn't last that long. Pain doesn't go away after using it. So I think there actually is a way you can use this to get permanent relief, though. In chronic conditions. So let's say go back like knee arthritis. You have knee arthritis, okay? Put this stuff on. It helps, feels better, but it just, you know, you've got to keep using this stuff over and over. It's not really permanent. So you got to do something else. So what else can help like knee pain? Well, we know exercises are tried and true treatment for knee arthritis. But hey, you can't do those exercises right now because your knee hurts, okay? And we all know that, hey, if you get your knee stronger, you get more joint stability, you get more flexibility, knee's going to work better, it's just going to plain feel better, pain levels are going to go down. Can't do any of that yet, but here's what you do. You put this stuff on, you get some pain relief or the pain goes away. Now you have an opportunity to do these other things that will give you the longer term relief. So for instance, if you have knee arthritis, you put this stuff on, hey, my knee feels great now. Okay, what are you going to do? So I'll just use this example like from Bulletproof Your Knee book. You would want to do like a quadricep strengthening exercise. Why the quadriceps? Well, it's this big muscle on the top of your leg, and it's key to stabilize. It's a big stabilizer of your knee. What they're finding now, just about any knee problem you can name, I can probably show you a study where they pinpointed you probably have a problem with your quadriceps muscle and none of the other muscles like your hamstrings or your adductors. So for instance, take knee swelling. One study demonstrated that even if you have as little as 20 milliliters of fluid in your knee, which is just over a tablespoon, it's enough to decrease the strength of your quadriceps muscle. So here again, if you have any swelling inside the joint, it takes its toll on your quadriceps muscle. They've looked at people with knee injuries, finding, you know, any have surgery on them, you know, to remove, like, say, your meniscus. They have long-term problems with quad weakness, ligament problems like your ACL, anterior cruciate ligament. Look at this. One study looked at people that completely ruptured their ACL. Researchers found that strength of their quadriceps muscle in the injured leg was decreased by 25 to 30%. So until you get that back, you're really not going to be pain-free most of the time. Same thing with the posterior cruciate ligament, medial collateral ligament. People that just have knee pain that's non-specific take its toll on the quads. And we talked about knee arthritis. So if you Google like knee arthritis and quadriceps strength, you're going to find just about every study will show you that people with knee arthritis, most people, have decreased quad strength. And likewise, there are randomized controlled trials showing that if you just strengthen the quadriceps muscle, the knee pain starts to go away. And some of these studies are even showing that the people with the stronger quads over time have the least progression of their knee arthritis. So if you got any kind of knee problem, make sure you're definitely strengthening your quads. Other major things you can do, optimize knee flexibility. We all know your knee bends and straightens. But a lot of people don't know is your knee actually rotates. Yeah, so about the last 10 to 15 degrees of you straightening or extending your leg out all the way, your knee actually rotates laterally or out to the side. So that's an accessory motion you have to have a fully pain-free knee. You have it working 100%. Here's a little test to see if you have that. And there's definitely, you can stretch that out. But anyway, you get the idea. You know, these exercises are great. They give you long-term relief, you know, but hey, you can't do them now. So you put on some of this stuff, you get that pain down. You can do some exercises a couple times a week by week, as your knee gets more flexible, stronger. And this translates to the shoulder too. You know, as your shoulder gets more flexible, your back is more flexible, you get your back muscle stronger, then the pain goes away. You get more permanent relief. So anyway, good product. Check it out.